Welcome to the final video presentation by Team B. We are Casey, Thomas, Ryan, and myself, Jeanette. The project we'll be presenting today relates to the entertainment and finance in stock management. Our intention for creating the Worldwide Wealth Stock Manager website was to give people the ability to learn how to manage their stock portfolio in an exciting and engaging way. Users receive in-game currency which is used to buy and sell within real-time representation of the stock market. The success of their investment strategy is recognized by awarding badges for each achievement that the individual has accomplished. Groups can also be created, making it a breeze for instructors to form a class in order to manage and evaluate their students on a variety of criteria. Here now is Thomas Norby to talk about the fourth iteration prototype of the Worldwide Wealth website and architecture.
This is a demonstration of our fourth iteration. We have generated 2 prototypes prior to the midterm, and this is our second since. I would like to start out by describing how previous iterations responded to feedback. Our first suggestion was to remove a profile link that we used to have here prior to logging in. We also did not have entertainment in our functionality. It was a real stock trading application rather than a virtual one. So we added a leaderboard for competition, and we also added to the profile badges that could be earned for various activities. Another suggestion was to add links assisting users with learning the interface, perhaps progressive disclosure or interface design. Beyond the help link below, we also have question symbols that users can hover over, which will provide hover text that describes what is expected of the user. After completing iteration 2, we received the suggestions to add an administrator interface to manage groups. We implemented it here, and it allows you to manage the groups, see who's in it, and how they are doing. One additional suggestion from iteration 2 was to remove unnecessary open accounts links on every page but the first. We received the most feedback from iteration 3. The only feedback that we were able to implement was to show requirements for specific fields by applying an asterisk. Other noteworthy suggestions were to add error messages, a backclick for each page, to share accomplishments for our users on social media, a chat or forum capability, an export portfolio option, or to link the profits with some virtual currency like Facebook or Congregate credits. When a user first comes to the website, they will have to open an account and enter in their information. All information with an asterisk is required. We have added in user guidance to help with certain fields that have additional requirements, such as the password, which requires 8 or more characters and at least 1 capital and 1 number. When they are done entering their information, they will enter submit and be prompted to return to the login. Once a user logs in, they will be presented with their wallet balance, the market performance, their accounts, and their best and worst performers. An analog figure will give them an at-a-glance impression of their asset allocation and their performance. From their positions, they will be able to look at each of their accounts and see how they are performing. From the activity page, the user will be able to see their purchases and sales that originate from the wallet. In the Statements page, the user will be able to see their end-of-month summaries as well as any tax information that they are required to declare. From the Trade page, the user will be able to buy or sell from one of their accounts a number of shares. They can choose at what time the transaction takes place. They place their order. The quantity of shares at that price is confirmed. The user also has the option to transfer funds from one account to another without having it pass through the wallet. They transfer, and a confirmation is sent. The website also seeks to provide analysis for our users so that they can receive suggested improvements based off algorithms. If the user chooses not to use our algorithms, they can do their own research and use their intuition. They can add these to the watch list for later observation. They can also go to the investment planning help and learn about various investment topics. The user will also have access to a leaderboard, which will show the performance of the users in a group, or if the user is unaffiliated, will show the global performance. Any user also has the option to become an administrator, and by logging in as an administrator, they can create and manage groups. In this example, our user is a professor who is using our application for coursework. Non-affiliated students can create a group and compete against their friends and family. Here's a quick example of our project architecture. We start with our user, who has attributes that are defined at the time of account creation or when they update their profile. A specialized type of user is our generic user, which extends user. They have additional attributes of a cash account, simple IRA, or stocks. They also have a method to buy stocks. Another type of user is our administrator, which extends users and will eventually have the functionality to manage groups. A user has investments. These investments have a symbol, purchase price, and quantity, and we have getters and setters for these as well. A special type of investment is stocks. A user also has an account with a beginning balance, current balance, and minimum balance. One type of account is a simple IRA, which extends account. It has an initial cost, and it has a set of stocks as investments. Another type of account is a cash account. This would represent the user's wallet. We created a main method to test our architecture against inputs. We will enter 2 to open an account, 1 for a user account, and we will enter in all the user information. Now our user is set up with a $10,000 cash account with no money in their IRA. They can enter a transaction type. We will enter 1 for stocks. We will enter a symbol for the stocks. And then we will buy 10 shares of a market order. We will open. We can enter in another transaction. We'll do stocks. Buy 10 market order and open again. And now it shows our user with 2 investments in Google and Intel with 10 shares each. The investment values will change based on the stock market share value multiplied by the shares owned by the user.
Here is a quick overview of our project management. We are on schedule for the final iteration of this project. Project risks and actions covered. Scheduling conflicts are an obstacle for any group project that takes place outside an office environment. To overcome problems that could be introduced from differences in schedule, our team used shared documents and folders for all our group deliverables. Regular meetings and running conversation on social media mitigated any loss of communication normally associated with the ability for each team member. Difference in vision for our design. Since each member of the team is an integral part on how the solution is designed, it's only natural that different opinions present themselves in reference to the direction and vision of the design. Team B turned the potential for disagreement into opportunity of merge ideas and expand possibilities for design, and then ultimately came up with a consensus on what the best way forward should be through open discussion. Time constraints. The process of developing a good design concept, building a prototype, gathering user feedback, and making improvements for each iteration is a labor and time-intensive undertaking. As a group, we found out that our vision, as well as some user preference for the project, was too complex given the amount of time that was allotted for each milestone. Taking that limited amount of time into consideration, only the elements with the least value added were removed, which produced a design that was in line with the user requirements and the team's vision without being overly complex or elaborate. By removing these excessive elements, the design actually benefited from a smaller development window. Implementation of the current design would be a success because it is in line with the user's needs. In order to stay in line with the user-centered design process, we updated our plans as well as our user requirements. Then, iteration 3 was revised in order to produce a high-quality final iteration that meets users' needs and project requirements. Personas, scenarios, and user feedback were instrumental to the success of the design because they gave us, as designers, insight into what the user goals and needs were. Thank you for watching our final presentation. I hope you enjoyed our design as much as we did creating it.